So this is the third part in my series of my all-time favourite Arsenal 11. This episode features the left backs. Hello, my name is Richard. Welcome back to my channel over and over and over again, which features everything to do with Arsenal. This is the third part of my all-time favourite Arsenal 11. And in this episode, I'm going to be looking at my favourite left backs. I've got three to select from, and in the end, I'm going to pick one to go into my team alongside David Seaman and Lee Dixon. Just what I do, I just want to make sure that you are subscribing to my channel. If you like what I do, please click on the subscribe button. It's just down in the corner there. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up as well. And if you've got any comments at all about the left backs for Arsenal, who your choice would be, anybody else that you feel I've left out of the top three, please drop me in the comments as well, because I do love to hear from you guys as well. So this is the only place I can start, really. He was left back in the first ever match that I attended in 1981, of course, Kenny Samson. He joined Arsenal in 1980 for £1 million. Of course, it was in that swap deal with Clive Allen, which, of course, caused a lot of controversy at the time. Arsenal had just paid a lot of money for striker Clive Allen from Queen's Park Rangers. And in the end, we swapped him straight away for Kenny Samson. Of course, we didn't need a left back at the time, with Sammy Nelson reaching the end of his career. And what a fantastic Arsenal career Kenny Samson had. In the end, he played 394 games for the club over 8 years. Rarely missed a game, so consistent. And he did also win 86 England caps, many of them while he was at Arsenal. And I believe that he is the most capped England player while playing for Arsenal as well. Just consistent, wasn't he, season in, season out. Really good player, great at one-on-one defending, got forward really well. He didn't score many goals, but he created a lot of goals. In fact, there was a really good left-hand side that we had in the team in the 80s, didn't we, with Kenny Samson, Graham Rix and Tony Woodcock. So, and then, of course, later on in his Arsenal career, after George Graham joined, he became captain, and he did captain the club to the first trophy that I ever saw us win, which was the 1987 League Cup. Of course, he was captain that day when we beat Liverpool. We lifted the trophy. Fantastic that was as well. And he capped the final kind of stages of his Arsenal career. And the following year, he lost the captaincy to Tony Adams. And it was obvious then that his days were numbered, especially as Arsenal had bought a replacement already, which I'll come to soon. But yeah, fantastic Arsenal career. In the end, he did leave in December 1988, and he joined Newcastle. He later played for QPR, Coventry, Everton, Brentford and Watford. And I know he's had a few issues in his personal life since he's retired from football, but what a fantastic footballer he was. What a great player, what a great servant for Arsenal. So 394 games, 6 goals, and he did win 1 League Cup as captain. Of course, his replacement was the great Nigel Winterburn. Of course, came from Wimbledon in the summer of 1987. He actually started off playing at right back, and if anybody remembers him playing at right back, will realise how weird he looked. Obviously, totally left-footed he was, but he was biding his time until he finally took the place of Kenny Samson at the start of the 1988-89 season. And of course, what a great season that proved to be. Of course, winning the league title in his first full season with the club. Of course, became part of that famous back five. In the end, of course, Winterburn stayed at Arsenal for 13 years. He made 584 appearances, scored 12 goals, 3 league titles, 2 FA Cups, 1 League Cup and 1 European Cup Winners' Cup. So fantastic success he had as well. And again, like Kenny Samson, he showed great consistency over every season. You know, he wasn't quite as technically gifted as Kenny Samson. And in the end, he only won 2 England caps, so he deserved a lot more, if we're honest. But of course, that doesn't distract away from the fact that he was such a great, consistent player for Arsenal, game in, game out. Very rarely dropped below a 7 out of 10 performance. You knew what you was going to get with Nigel Winterburn, didn't you? And yeah, fantastic player for the club. So he is my second choice. And as much as it might pain a lot of Arsenal fans now to admit it, but Ashley Cole was probably one of the greatest players ever to play for Arsenal, to come through Arsenal's youth system. Absolutely brilliant he was. And for a number of years in the first team, he was first choice, wasn't he? He made his debut in 1999, having come through the youth team. He started off as a left winger, actually, and later played, of course, at left back, and became one of the greatest left backs English football's ever seen. In the end, he did win 107 England caps, although a lot of them did come after he left Arsenal. So Kenny Samson still played for England more times while an Arsenal player. In the end, of course, he did leave in controversial circumstances, didn't he, for Chelsea in 2006, in a deal that ended up with William Gallas coming in the opposite direction. But I don't really want to let that distract away from the fact that for Arsenal, for 7 seasons, he was a fantastic player. He helped us to win 2 league titles and 3 FA Cups. Of course, he was part of the Invincible team as well. And he was just a great player, wasn't he? He got forward well, brilliant defender, probably the best one-on-one defending fullback I've ever seen. And of course, his forward burst as well. He scored 9 goals in the end, maybe not as many as he perhaps could have done, but he did get some very important goals, didn't he? I remember one in the Champions League, a late goal where we were about to get knocked out of the group stage, and he popped up with a late winner to keep us in it. So, yeah, brilliant player he was. In the end, he played 228 games for Arsenal, scored 9 goals, so won 5 major trophies with the club. Of course, he left for Chelsea, as we know. He later played for Roma, LA Galaxy, and finished his career back in England at Derby County. He won 107 England caps as well, so fantastic player. So, who do I pick to go in my team? This is really hard, isn't it? It's really, really hard, because all 3 of these left backs were fantastic players. They all had success at the club, and they all were real legends, I believe. It's a really, really hard choice. Ashley Cole maybe would have got picked under normal circumstances. I just feel the way that he left the club for Chelsea at the height of his career, and of course, the stuff that he wrote in his book probably means I can't really select him, as much as he is probably the best left back that I've seen. So that leaves it a straight choice between Kenny Samson and Nigel Winterburn, and it really is almost impossible to choose between them. Fantastic players, consistent players, brought me some great memories, both of them. Kenny Samson, absolutely fantastic player. So the first left back I remember, and of course Nigel Winterburn, what a long career he had at Arsenal, of course, part of the famous back 5. But I've got to pick one. It's a difficult choice, really difficult choice, but I'm going to have to go with Nigel Winterburn. Just for his longevity at the club, I say nearly 600 appearances, 7 major trophies, and just a consistent performances week in, week out. He had a little bit of steel about him as well, of course, coming from Wimbledon, and I don't know. I feel as though he just about edges it, really. There's almost nothing to choose between him and Kenny Samson, if I'm honest. And Kenny Samson was probably a more technically gifted player, but I just loved Nigel Winterburn's attitude. I just loved the loyalty he showed to the club. And of course, you remember that goal against Chelsea, for example, fantastic. There was one at Scarborough in the League Cup as well. So it's been a tough choice, but my choice for left back has to be Nigel Winterburn. So Nigel Winterburn goes into the team alongside Lee Dixon at right back and David Seaman in goal. It's almost building up towards the famous back 5, isn't it? And maybe it will be, but we'll see, because coming up in the next video, I'm going to select one of my 2 centre-backs. Lots to choose from, obviously, lots of great centre-backs at Arsenal over the years, so that's coming up soon. That'll be my next video on that, so stay tuned to the channel for that. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel down in the corner there. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up as well. Let me know what you think about the left backs. Which left back would you have picked? Others that spring to mind, Gael Clichy, I don't think he really had a chance to get in my team, unfortunately. Other than that, that's about it, really, isn't it? You know, we've had some great left backs, but they seem to stay at the club for a long time. In fact, those 3 that I featured in this video were the only main 3 left backs that we had for 26 years. So it just shows, doesn't it, how consistent and what long careers our left backs did have. So that's that there. I hope you enjoyed that video. I say stay tuned for the next episode coming soon. I'm going to pick one of my 2 centre-backs alongside David Seaman, Lee Dixon, and today's selection, Nigel Winterburn. So thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting the channel. Stay tuned. A lot more good stuff to come. And in the meantime, of course, as always, come on, you Gunners!